Okay, hello, Miss Whitehouse. This is Abby and Ariel. For
Hello.
our project for technology, we had exoskeletons. I provided our presentation for you here, but of course you can have it pulled up if you'd like to see more detail into it, but we'll just go ahead and present it for you. Okay, so we'll begin with a review of the product and the definition of the topic. So exoskeletons, robotic exoskeletons or powered exoskeletons are considered wearable robotic units controlled by computer boards to power a system of motors, pneumatics, levers, or hydraulics to restore locomotion. And these are typically wearable devices that work in tandem with the user.
So exoskeletons are placed on the user's body and they act as an amplifier that augment, reinforce, or restore human performance. The opposite of this would be a mechanical prosthetic, such as a robotic arm or leg that replaces the original body part altogether.
Right. And these can be made of several different rigid materials. There's some that are made of metal, carbon fiber, or they can be made out of entirely soft materials, such as elastic parts, depending on the extremity that they're supporting.
And they are typically powered and equipped with sensors and actuators, or they can be entirely passive as a unit.
Mhm. And they can also be entirely mobile, or they can be fixed and suspended on the person itself. It's usually for rehabilitation or teleoperation.
Um, Exoskeletons are flexible in the fact that they can be used for various body parts. They can cover the entire body. They can just help work with the upper extremity or the lower extremity, or even more specific and work with a specific body segment, such as the ankle or the hip.
Right.
So we have a video example of an exoskeleton assisting persons with paraplegia. Here it is.
Right. And the video doesn't have any audio, but you can always pull it up if you'd like to see more about it.
A good thing to know about this video is that the individual with paralysis states that he is able to connect to the world around him better than he was able to at wheelchair level, and this makes a big difference in the quality of human being.
Yeah. We won't go too far into it, but as you can see, it's mostly for the lower extremity, say for paraplegia, paralyzation. I believe he says in the video, but I don't remember. Okay.
Okay, so how is this helpful to occupational therapy? Um, many ways. Exoskeletons can help rehabilitate clients in various ways. For example, we have that they can provide individuals with spinal cord injuries. They help improvement on independent physical activity. Powered exoskeletons can move the arm of a person who was paralyzed to perform a desired manipulation. And medical exoskeletons are capable of allowing limited community ambulation for individuals with paraplegia. They can also be used in preventative measures, such as prevention of musculoskeletal disorders and repetitive motion strengths and support for lifting objects, etc. And OT can use this technology in tandem with conventional therapy to best improve functioning and independence for the user if the circumstances allow for this.
What does this mean for future practice? Um, Rehabilitation with exoskeleton assistance can be drastically changed and even enhanced with the use of exoskeletons. It can assist with the retraining of muscles and tasks. It can help improve functionality and independence through the use of support of the exoskeletons. And I also found this study from 2014 that found that even though robotic therapy assists in strength and training, it does not improve functioning without collaborative conventional therapy. So, though this is wonderful technology to assist with therapy and therapeutic methods, it found that OT, PT, and therapy, of course, are very much relevant in the rehab of an individual with this kind of thing. And of course, this technology is still in the beginning stages, and the use for the current geriatric population is tricky just because this technology may not be feasible for the current geriatric population to learn. But for future generations, this could be an excellent and perhaps easily accessible with any luck method of rehabilitation for those that grew up learning about technology, and maybe it could be easier for them to learn about.
Yeah. So information regarding cost, training required, and where to purchase. So, um, Parker Hannafin's Indigo Exoskeleton is an FDA cleared electrically powered support system for legs that help with spinal cord injury patients and stroke patients and allowing them to walk. It is $80,000. Um, and Suit X Phoenix Exoskeleton, a 27-pound wearable robot that could help everyone from disabled vets to kids learn how to ditch their wheelchairs and walk again on their own 2 feet, costs around $40,000. Um, for training and functionality required, the function depends on the position of the exoskeleton, which extremities are being supported, um, and etc. Some functioning is required in most of them, unless they are a powered exoskeleton, in which it can move it and the client by hydraulics, electricity, so on. Training also typically depends entirely on the position of the exoskeleton, but much training and classes are typically required for full functioning of the exoskeleton. And an important thing to note is that it also depends on the person using the exoskeleton. Someone who's been in a wheelchair for 20 to 30 years may not be willing to make the daily lifestyle changes needed to adopt the new technology.
Definitely. Yeah. A quick evolution of exoskeletons, past, present, and future. The past history for exoskeletons is relatively recent. Development began around 1965, but the first exoskeleton designs were for gait assistance and ambulation. But it took until the beginning of the 21st century for one to be designed that was ready for market. One of the very first applications was for gait rehabilitation in stroke and spinal cord injury individuals. Presently, exoskeleton technology is still being developed to enhance precision during surgery, per se. There's one particular one, ESCO-GT, is the first skeleton to be approved by the FDA for stroke patients. And at the present, many are still prototypes, with only about a dozen being approved by the FDA at the moment. But those that are available are thousands and sometimes even hundreds of thousands of dollars. So access for the general population is still pretty limited because of the cost. The future, though, improvement of human-machine interaction likely will result in devices that are intimate extension of the body structurally, neurologically, and dynamically. There is early evidence to support that their use reduces immobility and ameliorates spasticity, improves cardiopulmonary, bowel, and bladder automatic function that you commonly see with brain injuries, SCIs, etc. And because of that, it potentially provides psychological benefits and also improves quality of life due to that. So that's the future.
So we have a story example called The Rewalk. The Rewalk exoskeleton was made by Dr. Goffer, who was inspired to develop the Rewalk exoskeleton unit because of his own personal story. Dr. Goffer is a person with quadriplegic, and his goal was to develop a product that would enable persons with spinal cord injuries to walk again. The Rewalk can sit, stand, it allows for turning, it has the ability to climb and descend stairs. The batteries that supply power are intended for all day use and are recharged overnight. It is customized and sized for each individualized user, and it's available after meeting requirements from a medical examination. So the ability to use hands and shoulders to walk with crutches, healthy cardiovascular system, and bone density. And it's successful completion of the required training program the person has to go through. A computer coordinates hip movements into a walking pattern when the patient shifts their body weight. And the client, there is a link provided for a video demonstration of the Rewalk that you can watch if you're interested. The client in the video stated that he didn't think he was useful and wanted to die, but couldn't even pull the plug. He's able to give his wife a hug, walk with his kids in the park, and has improved his quality of life immensely. It's a very inspiring story.
Right, and we have some resources for you to look at, but that is our project for exoskeleton technology. Feel free to email us with any questions or if we need to fix anything. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for listening.
Thank you.